Well, Coach, special teams had a very good day last week. Mason Shipley hits those two really big field goals. Just what'd you overall thoughts about how the special teams went last week?
I appreciate you saying it was a very good day, but at the end of the day, it wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
I think as a coach, you got to go back and assess everything that takes place during a game. And at the end of the day, we had opportunities, right? The ball was kicked off and it was punted. We had opportunities on punt and field goal. There were certain things that went well, but at the end of the day, we fell short. Yeah. And as a coach, you go back and you evaluate every single situation that took place during the game. And we had opportunities to, well, just say special teams, we had opportunities to score, and we didn't. So at the end of the day, it wasn't good enough. Like where that assesses, I mean, you got to look at it that way. So, yes, field goal, Shipley, great job. PAT was good. Kickoff coverage was good. Our punt coverage was good. It's good to get Drew in there as a gunner. Obviously, he made a great play. That's 2 weeks in a row that late in the game we had to flip the field. And both times we've been able to do that. The week before, it ended up being Bobby Crosby and Julian Ortega-Jones down there to be able to get, I believe it was a 49-yard net on that particular one with 7 minutes to go in the game. And this last week, it was roughly 5 minutes to go in the game, and we were able to get, I believe it was a 48-yard net with Drew running down there and making a nice tackle. So, yes, there were some good things, but at the end of the day, it wasn't good enough to get a win, and those are the tough things. So, had some opportunities on kickoff return. And didn't capitalize and put us in position to be able to either have phenomenal field position or win the football game on that particular play.
Going on kickoff return, what were some of the aspects do you think like the team can get better at, or what were some things that they were struggling with against UTSA?
Yeah, so it was kind of a unique situation. I was at Arkansas with Coach Jeff Traylor. We coached kickoff return together. We know they – in the past, up until this past year, have run an incredibly similar scheme, darn near the same thing as to what we were running together at the University of Arkansas. So they had a good beat on what we were doing. They made some good adjustments. We were able to get some good returns and set up some good field position, but at the end of the day, it wasn't good enough. Yeah. So where you assess good is when we come out with one more point than they did. So if we had returns and we didn't end up in the end zone, then at the end of the day, it's not good enough. So all of our units and all of our kids understand that, and they understand no matter what, throughout the course of the game, there's 170, 180, I don't know how many plays there were in that game, and we were one play away. So we've got to find where that one play comes, and we got to evaluate every single one of those and find a way to be better in each area. Give them all the credit in the world. They played a great game. They ended up the winner. They played better than us on that particular Saturday. So they did an excellent job. They made some adjustments. We made some adjustments. We had some opportunities. Sometimes you're an ankle or a guy slipping off of a block away from popping a big return. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for us in this particular game. But I think that unit's doing a really good job. We're averaging close to 30 yards a return, and I give those guys credit on that. But at the end of the day, if we fall short, it's not good enough. So, and that's the mindset. And I'll be honest with you, at the end of the day, it's probably never good enough, right? That's kind of the approach and the mindset that you take, is that no matter what, we can find a way to be better. So as a player sitting in that seat and as a coach sitting in this one, we didn't come out on top, so we have to be better. So find a way and we'll get it done.
On those kickoff returns, it seems every kick Ismail Madhi would catch, he'd be in the end zone, but he'd still take it out. Is that by design? Is that something that, hey, don't worry about the fair catch, just let's get some yards?
Yes. We felt that there was an opportunity there to try and open up the game with a big return. And again, give them all the credit in the world. We weren't able to get that done. But yeah, we were trying to be very aggressive and bring the ball out and see what we could get accomplished with those returns. And like I said, we didn't hurt ourselves with it because we never started inside the 25. But we also didn't get what we needed out of it, which at the end of the day was a touchdown, because that could have tied the ball game. So, yeah, we were backing them up, bringing it out, and letting it rip.
You know, there was that one punt return with Joey Herbert that he muffed a little bit, tried to catch it.
A little bit.
It's kind of a wild punt.
Yeah, we caught a little more than a little bit, but yeah.
It's trying to be nice.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
But yeah, obviously you weren't happy with that play. What do you do to clean that up? What do you tell
reps,
them? What do you say?
Reps. Yeah, I mean repetition, right? Ball. It's a funny shaped ball. We don't play basketball. Basketball, you bounce it comes right back to you. Football, that thing can go anywhere. So we have some rules in place on a ball that's on the ground, and we got a funny bounce, and he tried to make a play on it, and that's not what we need to do in that situation. At the end of the day, our job is to give possession to the offense. And in that situation, he needs to make our call to get people away from it, and move on to the next play. But we have the utmost confidence in Joey and his ability to not only make correct decisions, but make plays back there. He's a playmaker, and he's done an excellent job up until that point, and I don't see that being an issue again. He's going to get back there and make great decisions, and number one, give possession to the offense, and two, make great decisions that can give us great field position as well.
After the first game, you don't want to get too high after a win. That's what everyone was saying, 24-hour rule. Then after a loss, it's kind of the same situation. How do you keep them from getting too low after a loss and letting these losses start to avalanche as the season goes on? What do you say to them?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, we didn't get the job done. We were all there. We're good. We can assess that, and that's pretty simple. But at the end of the day, it was one play. You can really boil it down to say, okay, we go look at the tape and we evaluate every single thing that happened from the beginning to the end, and there's a whole bunch of plays. And we have to find the things that we did well, keep doing them, and to find the things that we need to do better and get it fixed, get it off the tape. That's what we talk about. If something didn't go well, get it off the tape. We got to get that off the tape. But at the end of the day, it was one play. One play here, one play there, wherever that would fall in, and that's a tie ball game. Or we're going to overtime. Or there's a different outcome based on how the game progresses throughout. So we lost. It doesn't matter if you lose by 75 points or by 1 point, we lost. But we're not that far off. And, again, give them all the credit in the world. That's a good team. There's a reason they've won 24 games over the last 2 seasons, and they're the 4th winningest college football program over the last 2 seasons. They did a good job. They deserved to win that day. They beat us. But we're not very far off. We're one play away from that being a different outcome, and that's how you get back in a hurry. It's 24 hours regardless, and you heard Coach say that earlier. You have 24 hours to celebrate a win. You have 24 hours to get rid of the result of what took place. Time to move on. And I think that's where you have the competitive piece of the players and the coaches that, yeah, it stings, yeah, it hurts, but we're not very far off. There's a simple execution here and there that we can fix, and you get a different outcome.
How do you think these players, when you tough loss, especially when you're playing against a rival, and like as we've established, there's a lot of players are familiar with each other. Obviously, coaches know each other. How have these players responded after a tough loss like this? Awesome.
I mean, they responded the same way. All the games are the same at the end of the day, right? We can sit here and different for you guys. I mean this in a nice way. Totally different for you. Mm-hmm. Week 1 was a big win. Yeah. Well, week 1 was a win. Yeah. At the end of the day, there's going to be a win column and a loss column. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to say, well, this one counts for more points because you beat so-and-so, and this one. There's wins and there's losses. So after the first one, it was a win. Move on. After the second one, well, damn, it was a loss. Move on. How have our kids responded? Tremendous. They responded tremendous. They are awesome. They were pissed. They had their 24 hours. They showed up today ready to work. And we have another game. When we started this journey together, we were guaranteed 12 opportunities. And the focus is on us. The focus is on fixing us. We can't control anybody else, right? Of course, we're going to watch the tape, and we're going to see what teams are doing to help us in the scouting of them. But at the end of the day, it's not about them. It's about execution. And you heard Coach say that just a minute ago. We got to execute. If you execute really well at a high level in all phases of the game, good things are going to happen. But that's on us, and that's not on them. So as far as the ups and downs of that, it's week 1, play an opponent, get the result. Week 2, play an opponent, get the result. And if you make it anything more than that, that's kind of what you're looking for there. If you make it anything more than that, then all of a sudden it's like, well, that one was a rivalry game. Well, it was a game. There was 60 minutes on the clock. They put the football down, 120 yards in length, 53 and a third in width. Let's go play some football. And that'll be the same this weekend. It just happens to be at home. But I promise you the field, same dimensions here, and we actually get to bring our own footballs again. And we'll do that every single week as we play. So from a coach talk perspective, it's no different. Mm-hmm. We're going to stand up here and perform and prepare to go perform at the highest level week in and week out. And that's our job. Right, to get the most out of our guys every single week to perform to their best of their ability no matter who we play. And you do that over and over and over, then you get more guaranteed opportunities, right? There's 12 that start, then you get more after that. And that's what obviously we're working for 1 week at a time.
Mason Shipley kicking those really 2 big field goals, just how's his progression been since coming here, being the main field goal kicker?
Yeah, it's been awesome. He's been competing with some other guys, ended up winning the job, and had his first opportunity to perform from a field goal perspective this week. Did what was expected of him. Big kick, small kick, they're all the same kicks, right? If he's asked to go out there and kick, and again, I don't mean that, I'm not picking on you by any means. He goes out there to kick, that's his job. It's a free throw. At the end of the day, there's a snap and a hold, but for him, the ball's going to be down, and he's got to execute no matter where it is on the field, no matter how much time's left on the clock. We're in a situation right before half where we almost ended up in a situation where we're going to have to run the field goal unit on with no timeouts if we got tackled in bounds, and it was going to have to be like a NASCAR, a Mayday field goal situation. Those are very unique. They come up very seldom, but we had our 8 guys on the sideline. The rest of the team was removed. Coach Huth and his staff made sure nobody got an inch closer to everybody, and we were in that situation in case we went down in that spot. And that would be the same situation for him. Run out there, execute. He did what he was supposed to do. I'm very happy that he did, and I hope he continues to do so. But he's kicking the ball very well right now, and we're very confident in his ability to go out there and execute at any point in the game.